Hey guys, it's been a while. I've been a bit lazy recently, and I promise from tomorrow onwards I'm going to stick to a regular uploading schedule because of the lack of videos is kind of ridiculous. Okay, so anyway, TMB and SD migrated to K675 a few days ago, and as soon as they migrated, they immediately started rallying our 180mm rally trap mini meet right here. McFly 1200 is the first unsuspecting victim here. He probably looked at mini meet and thought, ooh, this looks like a nice juicy 180mm player just eating my test march. Must be a lot of troops here, maybe he's a troop hoarder. So I'll just go ahead and set a rally on him. Boy, that was a mistake, because mini meet is actually a very specialized low might range reinforcement trap. So he has about 6.5 million troops. With no range, he gets range reinforcements, and he's only got a few 100,000 of each T4. But what makes his account so good is that his gear is insane for his might. He's able to eat rallies from massive players pretty easily with minimal losses. The rally is about to walk, and a couple of players from TMB are spamming. Not very many, so it's kind of ineffective. Not that it would make any difference anyway, because as a very low might reinforcement trap, mini meet can't change formation. So the first rally hits him, its range doesn't drop him very much, and on the board, yeah, that's hardly anything. So McFly's leader does walk back either with Bunny or Hellrider, and then for whatever reason he decides he wants to rally him again. Got to give this guy credit, because he's got balls. But if I just hit 180mm player and my leader walked back with Drider or Bunny, I would leave that player well alone, because it's quite obvious that they're a trap, but they've already eaten one rally. So they're going to eat another rally, and my leader probably won't be safe that time. But nevertheless, he does rally him again. So TMB have started to spam him again, and you can see there's a marked difference between the spam on the first rally and the spam on the second rally. They're actually putting effort into it this time. So the second rally is marching. He's sending Inf, which does counter his range front line, but that rally is just completely wiped. There are obviously some more losses this time, but they're only around like 200k T2 Inf, which is pretty much nothing. I'll throw up the second report here. You can see his comp, and you can also see that the Inf rally only did 800k frontline damage. And you can also see mini meet's gear. It's pretty sick for his might, and it's why he's able to eat rallies so well. So McFly's leader wasn't saved that time, and now Hakutu, hope I'm pronouncing that right, is going to rally mini meet next. He's also going to bunny back because they know he's a trap for sure now. We expected them to go Inf again, but this time with Blackwing, so everyone swapped out reinforcements and put in 100k, so Blackwing wouldn't be as bad. But no, they go range again, but the losses here are a bit different. His leader is, of course, captured, but comes back with Bunny. I'll show you the third rally report now. Mini-Meat tried to ran him away in case they cancelled when they saw his gear, but he didn't need to worry because they were going to hit him anyway. So that report, there are a lot more losses on this one, but they're all T2. And you'd ask why, when you can see that he's clearly in a range phalanx and doesn't have any T2 range. Well, that's because Mini-Meat's got a garrison right before the third rally marched. And if you're sending range and the target you're hitting has a wall up and you have no buffer troops, Hakutu's buffer troops were destroyed by the garrison, then the player you're hitting, their troops will automatically change to an infantry phalanx. So Hakutu's range hit Mini-Meat's T2 Inf, which is a counter, but because it's hitting T2, it killed a lot more troops. So the fourth rally on Mini-Meat is being led by the Guardian, who's chilling there in his sick range set. He's got a mythic champ piece there, and all three Ambrosial Cups mythic. At this point, they were just kind of like cycling through their rally leaders, because each rally leader can only use Bunny once, and after that they'd probably get capped. Mini-Meat had to very quickly boost back all of the T2 Inf he lost from the last rally, because it's actually very dangerous for a range trap like this to have less than 2.5 million of each T2, because if your T2 numbers drop too low, then if you get hit by a rally, then that rally is probably going to burn you. The very minimum you can have is 2 million T2 of 2 troop types. So if he goes under 2 million T2 Inf and 2 million T2 Cav or under in one of those types, then he will not be able to cap the rally and he'll burn really badly. That's why rain traps like that can't really change formation, because if they take too many T2 reds, then they'll burn. The Guardian hit him with Cav, which is the hardest troop type for a range reinforcement trap to cap. But the Guardian only walks back with 7 siege troops, as you'll be able to see on the report. So they walk back, they know what troops he has, they know his comp, and they've seen his gear. So the next step for them is to launch a double rally on him, because he can take 1 rally at a time all day, but 2 rallies where one breaks his front line and the second one is Cav to burn him. That will be difficult for him to eat. And that's exactly what they do next. Kali and Fat Ragnar have set a timed double rally on Mini-Meat. He has wisely gone to the province in case he does get burned. And also want to say that during all these rallies, I was actually jogging, so every time they rallied him, I had to stop running and then record and then start running again. So that's why I'm not reinforced, because I'm just passively observing here. But I am going to jump in and reinforce after the first rally hits. So we all know that they're definitely going to send 1 Inf rally and 1 Cav, because TMB and SD know that Mini-Meat can't change formation, otherwise he'll lose too many T2 and not be able to cap the next rally, because they do have his comp and they can see he's quite close to the cap limit. So he has to take both of those rallies in range phalanx, and if the Inf rally hits first, then that will wipe out pretty much all of his range. I was actually telling him to migrate, because double rallies from these kinds of players with 800 plus stats against a rain trap with only 6 million troops, they don't normally tend to go well, but Mini-Meat doesn't care, he wanted to take them anyway. From the timing, it looked like they'd set these rallies on a voice call, so they'd definitely be coordinated. Well, that's what we thought. So the so Kali's rally marches and he starts carpeting, but the second rally is held and doesn't march. That's really confusing. So Kali's Inf rally hits, but the second rally is still waiting. So I'm like, okay, screw it. I'm going to put in there and refill his reinforcements, because the Cav rally is now walking. That's carpeted down super fast. It hits, but it's another smoke, and Fat Ragnar only walks out with siege troops, just like the last Cav rally. So Mini-Meat has taken a double rally with only 6 million troops from 800% stat players, and he took it pretty well as well. There's hardly any losses here. Let's look at the Cav rally report. There's only 800k wounded on our side, literally just a couple thousand deads, and their rally only walked out with siege troops. Now, I honestly have no idea why that Cav rally was held, because it honestly cost them the burn. If the rallies had walked at the same time as intended and hit within a few seconds of each other, we wouldn't have been able to refill Mini-Meat's range just a bit more, and he probably would have burned. My guess is someone sent a filler march a couple of seconds before the rally walked, and there was a delay of about 10 seconds while that filler march was sped up. Or maybe they put a timer in. I doubt they did put a timer in, because there would have been no need to. But yeah, that's why it's so important when you're doing timed rallies that all of the filler marches have arrived at the rally leader's castle before the timer, because if the rallies are held even just for a couple of seconds, it can screw up the timing of the rallies hitting, and that looks like what happened here. Mini-Meat's quite lucky, because if those rallies had hit within very quick succession of each other, he most likely would have burned. So let's go back another few days before the TMB rallies, and Mini-Meat is being rallied again by the Chinese guilds in our kingdom. So Majang here is trying to free his guildmate's leader. His guildmate rallied with Inf and got capped. Now, before all the bigger guilds started migrating in, Majang was probably the second hardest hitter in the kingdom. A lot of mythic champ pieces there. Majang changes to his Inf gear and starts carpeting, but there's no need for the carpets, because Mini-Meat has changed his gear and randomed away to make the rally hit instantly. Now, Majang did send Inf, and you can see he's got 3 mythic champ pieces in just his Inf set alone. So that's a pretty hard hitting Inf set, and of course it was a counter. but he still ate that rally pretty well. And after this, he migrated to Kingdom 476 and joined NPS, while the leaders were being ransomed. So that's all for today, guys. We've got way more clips of this trap eating rallies to show you. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.